Toyota. Toyota built its entire reputation on reliability, the brand that never breaks down, the car your parents bought because they didn't want surprises. Then between 2009 and 2011, Toyota recalled over 9 million vehicles globally because accelerator pedals were sticking and floor mats were trapping throttles, turning some of the world's most trusted family cars into vehicles that didn't always stop when you asked them to. The controversy wasn't just the defect, it was the response. Internal documents suggested Toyota knew about the issue earlier than they admitted, and the NHTSA investigation that followed became a masterclass in how a brand can damage decades of trust in a single press cycle. Toyota paid over $1 billion in settlements and fines. The reliability halo took years to rebuild. The brand that built its identity on never letting you down had let millions of people down simultaneously. Ford. The Ford Pinto is not just a recall story, it's a business ethics case study taught in universities. Ford's engineers identified during development that the Pinto's fuel tank sat in a position that made it vulnerable to rupturing in rear-end collisions. Ford then conducted a cost-benefit analysis, calculated that it was cheaper to pay injury and fatality settlements than to fix the design, and proceeded with production anyway. It's worth noting that some historians have since disputed exactly how that internal memo was framed, whether it was genuinely a lives versus cost calculation or a regulatory compliance document taken out of context. What's less disputed is what happened next. The memo became public, the interpretation hardened, and no amount of corporate clarification could undo it. Ford eventually recalled 1.5 million Pintos in 1978, but the damage wasn't just financial. The Pinto became the car that taught the public that manufacturers sometimes know exactly what's wrong and choose profit over people. The truth of that specific document is still argued. The cultural damage it caused isn't. Before we move forward, if you found this video on every car brand's most embarrassing recalls helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Which recall surprised you the most? Comment below. General Motors. GM's ignition switch recall is the kind of story that starts with a small engineering decision and ends in a congressional hearing. The switch in question could rotate out of the run position if there was weight on the keyring, cutting power to the engine and disabling airbags simultaneously. In a crash, the car's safety systems simply weren't there. GM knew about this issue for over a decade before recalling 2.6 million vehicles in 2014. During that decade, at least 124 people died in related crashes, though some estimates put the number significantly higher. The fine was $900 million. The cultural damage was incalculable. GM's ignition switch recall became shorthand for institutional negligence, proof that a problem known internally for years can somehow never find its way to the people it's actively hurting. Takata. Takata wasn't a car brand, but their airbag inflators ended up inside vehicles from Honda, Toyota, BMW, Ford, and almost every other major manufacturer on the planet, making this the largest automotive recall in history. The inflators used ammonium nitrate as a propellant, which degraded over time, particularly in humid climates, and could rupture explosively, sending metal fragments into the cabin at high velocity. Over 100 million vehicles were affected globally. At least 27 people died from inflator ruptures. Takata filed for bankruptcy in 2017 under the weight of liability costs. The recall took years to complete because replacement parts couldn't be manufactured fast enough to match the scale of the problem. The Takata disaster changed how the industry thinks about supplier accountability and what happens when a single component failure can reach inside virtually every car on the road. Volkswagen. The Volkswagen diesel scandal wasn't a recall in the traditional sense. Nobody's accelerator was sticking. Nobody's airbag was misfiring. What Volkswagen did was quieter and in some ways more unsettling. They wrote software that detected when the car was being emissions tested and activated full pollution controls only during the test, then switched them off during normal driving. 11 million vehicles worldwide were running this software. Real-world nitrogen oxide emissions were up to 40 times the legal limit. Volkswagen paid over $30 billion in fines, settlements, and buybacks. Executives were prosecuted. The brand that had been marketing clean diesel as the sophisticated European alternative to hybrids had been running an elaborate technical deception for years. The scandal didn't just embarrass Volkswagen, it effectively ended the consumer diesel market in several countries. Tesla has issued numerous software recalls, but the most significant came when the NHTSA investigated Autopilot following a series of crashes where Tesla vehicles struck stationary emergency vehicles. The investigation covered over 800,000 cars, and Tesla's response came in 2023, a software update pushed over the air, which is either impressively modern or deeply concerning depending on your view of whether a safety recall should require visiting a dealership or just downloading a patch. Tesla marketed Autopilot aggressively as a near-autonomous system, while fine print clarified that drivers must remain attentive at all times. When crashes happened, the gap between the marketing and the fine print became a courtroom argument. Tesla didn't just have a recall problem. They had a truth in advertising problem dressed up in software updates and press releases about the future of transportation. BMW recalled over 300,000 vehicles in 2017 and 2018 due to an engine fire risk linked to an exhaust gas recirculation cooler defect that could allow coolant to leak and, in some cases, lead to combustion. Several cars caught fire while parked and switched off, which is a category of problem that tends to generate significant public attention. The recall affected multiple models across the 3, 5, and 7 series ranges. The embarrassment was compounded in South Korea, where regulators accused BMW of being too slow to act despite receiving internal reports about the issue years earlier. South Korean authorities conducted a criminal investigation, and BMW faced a temporary ban on affected vehicles being driven on public roads. For a brand that sells precision and engineering excellence as its core identity, spontaneous combustion while parked is a difficult story to include in any brochure. Mercedes-Benz sells you the idea that German engineering has already solved every problem worth solving. So when German authorities opened formal investigations in 2018 and ordered large-scale recalls of diesel vehicles across Europe, the issue wasn't a broken component. It was emissions compliance. Regulators alleged that certain diesel models contained emissions control software strategies that did not fully comply with European standards. By 2019, Daimler agreed to pay an €870 million fine in Germany for negligent supervisory violations, and investigations expanded across multiple jurisdictions, with total costs reaching into the billions. What made this particularly damaging was the timing. Mercedes watched Volkswagen's diesel scandal unfold in 2015 and saw the reputational devastation it caused. Yet within a few years, regulators were alleging similar compliance failures within Mercedes' own diesel fleet. For a brand built on engineering precision, even the appearance of regulatory manipulation was a serious contradiction. Jeep. Fiat Chrysler recalled 1.1 million Jeep, Grand Cherokees, and Dodge Chargers in 2016 because the electronic gear selector felt like park, indicated park, and returned to the same position as park, without actually being in park. The car had no way of telling you it was still in gear because the shifter had been designed to always look the same, regardless of what it was doing. Actor Anton Yelchin died when his Grand Cherokee rolled backward and pinned him against a pillar, having done exactly what thousands of other owners had done, assumed the car was parked because nothing told him otherwise. Chrysler had received complaints years before the recall. The mountable shifter was discontinued quietly afterward. Some design decisions don't survive contact with their own consequences. Honda recalled over 900,000 CR-Vs and Civics in 2022 due to a software issue in the transmission control unit that, under certain conditions, could fail to keep the vehicle in park after the driver had exited, meaning the car could roll away with nobody inside. It's a category of malfunction that tends to surprise people most when they're walking away and hear movement behind them. Honda's reputation for mechanical reliability made the recall more jarring than the defect itself warranted. When the brand synonymous with engineering that simply works produces a gearbox that doesn't reliably stay in park, it cuts against the core promise in a way that a similar recall from a less reputation-dependent brand simply wouldn't. Honda built their entire identity on the idea that their cars do exactly what they're supposed to do. This one didn't, and in Honda's world, that's the harshest possible verdict. Porsche recalled all 918 Spyder hypercars in 2015, every single one, due to a potential defect in the carbon fiber subframe that could crack under stress. The 918 was a $1 million hybrid hypercar. There were approximately 918 of them in existence. Recalling all of them simultaneously is the automotive equivalent of a Michelin-starred restaurant recalling every dish it has ever served. Porsche handled it efficiently and without significant drama, which is exactly what you do when your customers paid $1 million for the privilege of your engineering. The repair was completed at no cost, and the process was reportedly seamless. But the image of the world's most technically ambitious road car of its era being recalled in its entirety remains one of the more surreal moments in recent automotive history. Even perfection, apparently, needs a second look. Every manufacturer on this list built something they were proud of, sold it to people who trusted them, and then had to call it back. Some responded quickly and with integrity. Others calculated, delayed, and paid for it later in ways that cost far more than the original fix ever would have. The pattern across all of them is the same. The recall was never the real problem. The decisions made before the recall were, and there you have it, the most embarrassing car brands recall. Thank you for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.